Welcome to Top 10 World Knowledge. Today, we're delving into a sensitive but significant topic, the top 10 worst things that children may experience when their parents go through separation. From emotional distress to instability, we'll explore the challenging realities faced by kids during this difficult time. This video serves as a reminder of the importance of supporting children through such transitions and highlights the need for empathy and understanding. Let's dive in and shed light on these critical issues. Today, we will talk about top 10 worst things that happen to kids when their parents are separated. So before we get started, make sure to hit the like button. Also subscribe to my channel. 1. Criticizing the other parent to the child. This is, unfortunately, the most common mistake parents make and can be displayed by both mothers and fathers alike in many cases. For most parents, the reality is that their child is very aware of the conflict that goes on between both sides of the separation, as well as the interactions between both parents. This leads to the child acting as a neutral listening post. What many parents fail to realize is that, amid their heightened emotions, the child can suffer in many different ways. A child's emotional well-being can be impacted by the negative views of one parent towards the other, making them feel pressured to take sides. It is important to remember that children are often curious and will likely overhear your conversations with friends and family. Bearing this in mind, be cautious of how you speak about your spouse when your child is around, as it can undermine the relationship that your child has with the other parent. 2. Trying to make your child feel sorry for you, even if unintentional. This issue is referred to by the family law courts as attempting to align a child's views to those of a parent, or parental alienation. This is a particularly harmful act, as it has the same consequences upon your child as discussed in item 1 above. It can also demonstrate to the court you are not child-focused and suggests an issue of your inability to co-parent and act in the child's best interests. 3. Not trying to communicate with the other parent. This is a major issue for 2 reasons, the most important of which is that your children need to see their parents communicating for the good of their well-being. Failure to communicate with the other parent can be extremely detrimental to many aspects of your child's life, including medical care, education, and social development. Children miss out on things when their parents can't communicate. They also learn to play one parent off against the other, trying to get what they want. The second reason is that the family court may take a negative view against you if you fail to try to communicate with the other parent. In parenting matters, the court's primary concern is the best interests of the child, which is what its decisions will be based on. Failure to communicate will appear to that court as if you're not willing to promote the relationship between the child and the other parent, which is an essential part of parental bonding and social development. 4. Preventing access to a child. While many parents believe they may be doing the right thing by withholding the child from contacting the other parent, it's often one of the worst things a parent could do. There are some cases where there is a need to protect a child from being physically or emotionally harmed. However, if there is no risk to the child, then the court expects to see both parents are open and keen to demonstrate that they are willing to co-parent and promote a relationship between the child and the other parent. If you withhold a child from the other parent without a good and justifiable reason, you could find yourself losing primary care of your children for your failure to show a willingness to encourage the children's relationship with the other parent. Having said that, there are some circumstances where it is essential for a parent to withhold the child from access by the other parent. These are when serious situations arise where the child is at risk of harm, be it emotional or physical, and in need of protection from the other parent. 5. Lying about drug use or alcohol. Drug and alcohol abuse is not uncommon in family law situations or parental separations. What is also common is the frequency of parents who try to hide or deny the use of drugs or alcohol. Many parents with a history of drug and alcohol consumption understandably believe that their use of such substances will impede upon their chances of gaining parental responsibilities in parenting arrangements. 6. Splitting up the children. It is becoming more and more common to see blended families today. The court will take into account the relationships between all types of siblings, including half-siblings and step-siblings, not just biological siblings. In the instance that parents with blended families separate, it is important to consider the impact on the children if they are split up. People tend to focus on only the biological children of the parents and fail to accommodate for the other children involved. Seeking to separate the children may suggest to the court that the parent is not child-focused. The family court does not usually like to separate children unless they have no other option. 7. Not being properly prepared for court specialists and court experts. Family report writers are called on to be impartial and provide recommendations based on the best interests of the child. The court places a high level of trust in family report writers' observations of the parents and interactions with the children. Although it is a common part of many family law matters, people tend to underestimate the importance of family reports and the interviews conducted with all parties during the separation process. Many judges rely heavily on the recommendations of the family report writer or psychologist, giving great weight to the analysis of these experts having interviewed all relevant parties and the children before giving their independent opinion. While decisions aren't always made solely based on family reports by court experts, they weigh heavily on the decisions made by the court, such as court orders. 8. Allowing children to play parents off against each other. When parents fail to communicate or are competing for the affection of their children, children tend to play one parent off against the other, which then causes parents to lose their ability to co-parent effectively. 9. Involving children in adult conflict and legal proceedings. As far as judges are concerned, family law proceedings are for the involvement of the parents only, and children should not be involved in any aspect of the case. A courtroom is no place for a child, and anyone under 18 years is not permitted in the family law courtrooms without the judge's permission. 10. Not putting the children's best interests ahead of your own decision-making. Understandably, people can often become completely consumed by their separation, but when parents are completely entrenched in parenting separation matters, it can often lead to them focusing on their own interests and the negative things about the other parent, over and above what is best for their children. A common example is living arrangements. For example, wanting to live somewhere that is close to work, wanting your children to live with you to minimize child support, or not agreeing to the other parent's parenting plan because you don't want them to dictate when you see the children. It's common for parents to put forward their own agendas to be portrayed as if it is about the interests of the children. The family court sees this time and time again and can easily identify when parents aren't being child-focused. What do you think of our video? Let me know in the comment section below. Before you go, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.